My name is JOAN MONCE from BEd. In this video, I will present to you the VAK learning model or the VAK learning preference as my learning style and the Jean Piaget 4 stages of cognitive development as my developmental theory. VAK learning style form a model of learning designed by Walter Burke and later developed by Neil Fleming. VAK learning style has been modified from VAK model to VARK learning style by Fleming in 2006. VAK learning style provides a simple way to explain and understand your own learning style and also the learning style of others. Most importantly, it helps you to design learning methods and experiences that match people's preferences to determine the dominant learning style. So, the first VAK learning style is the visual. Visual learners absorb information primarily by seeing it or visualizing it mentally. And visual learners absorb information by sight, especially using our eyes. And some learners like to see what you mean. For example, is scenarios, images, complex or ideas without reference, like can be love graphs, maps, graphs, diagrams, flow charts, and written instructions. So the second VAK learning style is the auditory. Auditory learners absorb information primarily by hearing it, and these are the use of our ears. Some learners like to hear what your ideas or what you're going to explain to them. They love verbal instructions and they follow them easily. They are sensitive to tone of voice, pitch, and rhythm. The third VAK learning style is kinesthetic. Kinesthetic learners absorb information primarily through movement in a physical way. Some learners like to experience what you are talking about. They are physically coordinated and good at sport. They enjoy expressing themselves physically and may engage in performing arts or dance. So next is the developmental theory, which is the Jean Piaget 4 stages of cognitive development. So, Jean Piaget theory of cognitive development suggests that children move through the 4 different stages of learning. His theory focuses not only on understanding how children acquire knowledge, but also on understanding the nature of intelligence. Piaget's stages are: birth to 2 years is sensorimotor stage, while ages 2 to 7 is the pre-operational stage, and ages 7 to 11 is the concrete operational stage, and lastly, ages 12 and above is the formal operational stage. So, the first stage is the sensorimotor stage. During this earliest age of cognitive development, infants and toddlers acquire knowledge through sensory experiences and manipulating objects. A child's entire experience at the earliest period of this stage occurs through basic reflexes, senses, and motor responses. Birth to 2 years. The major characteristics and developmental changes during stage are: they know the world through movements and sensations. They learn about the world through basic actions such as sucking, grasping, looking, and listening. The second stage is the pre-operational stage. The foundation of language development may have been laid during the previous stage, but the emergence of language is one of the major hallmarks of the pre-operational stage of development. It is 2 to 7 years old, and the major characteristics and developmental changes during this stage are: they begin to think symbolically and learn to use words and pictures to represent objects. And they tend to be egocentric and struggle to see things from the perspective of others. And also, they getting better with language to interact and thinking, but still tend to think in every concrete terms. So, the third stage of Piaget is the concrete operational stage. While children are still very concrete and literal in their thinking at this point of development, they become much more adept at using logic. While in the previous stage, they are more on improving their talking or their communication skills. The egocentrism of the previous stage begins to disappear as kids become better at thinking about how people might view a situation. So, in this stage, they are more focusing on thinking and more on logic. So, this age is 7 to 11 years old. And the major characteristics of the developmental changes during stage are they begin to think logically, as I've said, about concrete events, and their more thinking becomes more logical and organized, but still very concrete. So, the last stage of Piaget's first stage of cognitive development is the formal operational stage. So, the final stage of Piaget's maturity, it involves an increase in logic and the ability to use deductive reasoning and understanding of abstract ideas. While in the previous stage, it focuses on concrete, while in the final stage, it enhances their abstract ideas. At this point, adolescents and young adults become capable of seeing multiple potential solutions to problems and think more scientifically about the world around them. And this ages 12 and up. So, adolescents. And the major characteristics and developmental changes during this time is they begin to think abstractly and reason about